Yeah, well, I did both. I read the book and I saw the Italian film, and yet I felt that the best thing to do was to just kind of go with the script that Oren Moverman wrote, because both were helpful in certain ways, but mostly I felt tied to Oren's kind of graceful, beautiful writing, and I knew Marc was gonna do a great job directing because I'd worked with him before, and but there were pieces of things that I stole from the book and from the Italian movie. And I met the author of the book at the premiere in Toronto, and he was like, "Man, that's really how I wrote Ian. He looked in my mind how you looked or something," which just shows that when you're all on the same team, you're even if you take different directions of the character, if it's all working, I think you're all serving the same spirit. So like I just had the impulse to pierce my eyebrow, I had the impulse to wear certain clothes because it just felt right. And it turns out that was actually in, I think Stevens' his name is the author, right? Stephen Amadon.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I just felt, I just had that instinct that that was what it would work. So I think if you just, I don't know, I think that's the magic of it. When it's all working, you don't really have to think about trying to be like the novel or trying to be like the Italian movie. You just go with what works.
Yeah, I immediately responded to Oren's script, and that's that. Aware of his work in advance, when I read that script, I felt so excited to be able to tell a story that he wrote. I glanced at the book, but the script was really like my Bible for interpreting it into a movie. And I looked at the movie once, and that helps you just shape the movie you're going to make. The book is set originally in New York, where we were all based. So it also felt like we were finally getting a chance to tell the story based on the location, which was, from the original tale. I had so many challenges in just getting a production off the ground that to be too loyal to the book would also get in the way of just making it my own movie.
That's all. I mean, that's the thing is like, you know, I think there's a great place for those superhero movies, and I think that I'm really glad people make them because it also brings people to the theater and people love watching them, and I think it gives a lot of hope and a lot of excitement. And I'm like, sometimes I just love those movies, sometimes I really love them, and I love to just go watch The Dark Knight or something, and just watch it. But I feel like right now there's this growing gap between either you're this enormous movie, like sometimes I'll just watch a modern trailer for a big blockbuster and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I'm like seeing all these shapes and these colors and this, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I feel like then there's a movie made for like $9 and it's just someone like staring, with their little camera and someone just staring and like saying some quiet little thing, and it's like, oh, the indie smash. And I feel like there needs to be a fill-in of the gap of movies more like Human Capital, where it's a lot of actors that I think are, well-known actors, and it's big, high stakes drama, but it's a low budget movie. There's no superheroes. And I think there needs to be more of more filling in. So it's not that I'm saying there needs to be less of the big or less of the really little, but I just think that in between is where Taxi Driver, was born, and where Midnight Cowboy was born, and where, Persona was born. I just think that I feel like we need to stop just making these mumbly, meandering bullshit hour and 9-minute movies, and we need to, stop exclusively making these 4-hour Marvel movies. Like I love both of them, and I think they have their place, but where's the middle? Because
Yeah, I mean, if you can walk out of the theater and feel a little bit different about yourself as a human being because of the hour and a half that you spent there through people that you didn't know, and you got to really know them in intimate fashion, I think that somehow resonates with me over a longer period of time as a moviegoer than an hour and a half of just fun where I take nothing away from it that I hold close to myself. There are movies that I watched a decade ago that still to me mean so much, and other movies that I watched a month ago and I don't even remember much about it. And